bottle of champagne in a glass. He poured himself some champagne as his eyes traveled from Will to Jay to Kyle. "Why y'all staring at me like that? You didn't think I was gonna let a good bottle of champagne go to waste, did you?" He sipped contentedly. Put the damn champagne back in the limo." Kyle slapped Alan in the back of the head. "You can be so stupid sometimes, Al. Can't you see we're going into a church?" Alan guzzled down what was left in his glass and handed the bottle to the driver. "Yo, Chief, keep this cold for me." The driver nodded his head as he closed the car door. Turning his attention to the church steps he was about to ascend, Kyle sighed. His insides were churning with nervous energy. Marriage was a big step, and he hadn't slept a wink all night thinking about it. He wondered how anyone ever knew if they were truly making the right choice. He was in love with Lisa, there was no question about that. But would that be enough to make their marriage last? He was the first of his friends to get married. Maybe it would have been more comforting if one of them had gone before him and shown him that it can work. He glanced at Will, who was getting married himself in a year, and then at Jay, who had sworn he would never commit to marriage. This was the moment of truth. He had to either climb the stairs to the church or turn around and get in the limo to ride out of the life of the woman he loved. "Well, guys," he finally announced with confidence, "let's go get me married." Jay put his hand in front of Kyle, blocking him on the first step. "You can still back out if you want to. We could jump in that limo and be in Atlantic City in 2 hours. As tempting as that might be right now, Jay, I'm going to have to pass." Kyle pushed Jay's hand out of his way. "I know you don't understand what Lisa and I have. That's because you've never been in love before. All I can tell you is that I can't see living my life without her." "Aight, man. I ain't no player hater. Hell, I'm a participator. I just hope you know what you're doing." "So do I. Now get out of my way before I change my mind." Kyle laughed as he walked up the stairs to the church. "Kyle," Jay called to him. "Yeah?" Kyle turned toward his friend. "I'm happy for you, brother. I don't know why, but I'm happy for you." Jay smiled. Kyle nodded and headed to the church entrance. When he rang the rectory bell, Father Smith soon greeted him and his friends. "Well, I see you didn't get cold feet," Father Smith laughed as he led them down a small, narrow hallway into an equally tiny room. "You boys have a seat. We've got some time before we're going to get started." Kyle and Alan sat on the only 2 chairs in the room. Jay and Will leaned against a table, facing their nearly wedded friend, who still had nervous written all over his face. "You know, Kyle, I'm happy for you, bro," Will said with folded arms. "Lisa's a good woman. She really loves you, man." "Thanks, Will. That means a lot coming from you." Kyle had always respected the advice of Will, who was usually the most level-headed of the group. "I feel sorry for your partner in crime over there," Alan joined their conversation, gesturing toward Jay. "You gonna be all right chasing women by yourself, Jay?" "Man, I've been running solo ever since he met Lisa's ass. The boy's pussy whipped." Jay sucked his teeth. "Come on, Jay, we in church, man." Kyle shot him a dirty look. "So you guys gonna try to have kids right away or what?" Will changed the subject. Kyle grinned. "The minute we get on that cruise, I'm tossing her diaphragm overboard." They all laughed. Even Jay couldn't help but smile at the thought of a Kyle Jr. running around. "You know the one thing I want when I get married? I want all of our kids to be close like we are," Jay said. "Amen to that," Kyle agreed. "I still can't believe you get married," Alan said sadly. "Damn, Al, you act like I'm dying or something." Jay laughed at that one. "Nah, it's not like that. I just never imagined you or Jay settling down." "That's true. I never thought either of you would get married," Will agreed. "Hey, man, I'm 27. I can't be a player all my life," Kyle reasoned. "Speak for yourself." Jay stepped away from the table and puffed out his chest. "I'm gonna be a player."